tack room, jumping ring and paddock, extensive vegetable plots, a grape arbor, and Maud's Italian garden, edged with boxwood and dotted with classical statues. John Verneau Bouvier, Jr. was a dapper figure given to loud explosions of temper. God damn it to hell! He was a snappy dresser. His invariable East Hampton Sunday attire was a brown tweed jacket, white shirt with high, stiff collar, white linen trousers, black socks, and white shoes. He was intensely proud of his Hercule Poirot-like mustache, carefully groomed every morning and waxed until the points stood out beyond his cheeks. At Sunday lunch, he would turn off both his hearing aids and sit oblivious to the noisy bickering of his family, composing a poem for one of them to be read out at the end of the meal. Although the Major's literary style was florid, and his verse no more than doggerel, his interest in poetry transmitted itself to Jackie, his favorite grandchild. He really adored her, and I think felt that she had enormous potential in the field that he cared about, which was literary, Lee said. They had quite a correspondence together, and many flowery letters were exchanged. I think that if it hadn't been for this exceptional bond she had with my grandfather Bouvier and my father, that she never would have gained the particular strength and independence and individuality she had, because we didn't have a very normal family. One particular fantasy of the Major's became an important influence on how his family saw themselves. Throughout Jackie's childhood, he was engaged in the construction of an elaborate and mythical genealogical family treatise, which was privately published in 1940 as Our Forebears. As recorded in Our Forebears, the Bouviers were an ancient house of Fontaine near Grenoble. But according to research by John H. Davis, Jackie's first cousin, the American Bouviers were descended from Michel Bouvier, who arrived from France in 1815 in Philadelphia, where he established a successful business as a cabinet maker, one of his clients being Napoleon's brother, Joseph Bonaparte, and an importer of marble and mahogany. He made a solid fortune that his son Michel Charles Bouvier vastly increased by successful operations on the stock exchange. Beyond her love for Grampy Jack, Jackie adored her father, the glamorous, larger-than-life John Verneau Bouvier III, known as Jack, who resembled his father in looks but in nothing else. He was a free spirit who seems to have handed down his dislike of committees and pompous organizations to his daughter. Jack Bouvier adored his overindulgent mother, but clashed frequently with his father, who disapproved of his son's undisciplined, self-indulgent way of life. They had noisy rows during which the Major would roar at him, threatening to disinherit him, a sanction that showed diminishing returns. Jackie's father was a spectacularly attractive man in a flashy way. His looks were exotic, the very opposite of the all-American boy. His extremely dark complexion, inherited from his Bouvier forebears, had earned him various nicknames: the Sheik, after Rudolph Valentino, the Black Orchid, or, more commonly, Black Jack. He sported a pencil-thin Clark Gable mustache over finely molded sensual lips and was often taken for the star. He was a compulsive womanizer and later a heavy drinker. Despite the pain his infidelity caused her mother, and the fact that the breakup of their marriage for that reason was demonstrably his fault, Jackie enjoyed his success with women. She told me about the complicated relationship with her father, who she admired and respected because women were crazy about him. John Demi Gates, an early admirer of Jackie's, said, for example, if there was Parents' Day at Farmington, she'd say to him about the mothers of some of her friends, "What about her?" And he'd say, "Yes, I've had her." Or he'd say, "No, but I think that's pretty eminent." She thought that that was the most wonderful thing. She had all the wrong standards, and yet she became something very special in spite of this. If Black Jack Bouvier's worldly standards were unadmirable, her mother Janet's were little better. Janet, a friend of the Bouvier twins, Maud and Michel, was 16 years younger than her bridegroom and, not that Black Jack would have cared, an Episcopalian. The couple were completely unsuited. Janet, chic, petite, and pretty, with great charm and a dazzling smile when she chose to exercise it, was tough, disciplined, and inhibited.